Hi everyone, good day and welcome back to Bible Story to Reality with Blossom. On today's episode, we'll be continuing the series Read the Bible with me, and I'll be reviewing Genesis chapter 8. Now, according to the Bible, Genesis chapter 8 is titled The End of the Flood. The first lesson to get from Genesis chapter 8 is that God never forgets you. In fact, the chapter is introduced as saying that God had not forgotten Noah. So now you know how Noah built the ark. He got on the back ark with all the animals, and then the rains came and the whole earth was flooded such that no human being survived. While Noah was on the boat, the tendency for him to think that God had forgotten him must have been there, because I'm sure the rain had ebbed away and he was anxious to leave. Now it tells us that even as Noah was there, God didn't forget about him. It calls us to a place of trusting that the one who sent us to our last point of obedience knows what he's doing, and that he will come back to give you the reason to leave or what to do next at the appointed time. So I hope this brings you to understanding that even if you're going through a season where it feels like you heard from God the last time and you don't know what next he wants you to do, I urge you to understand that God has not forgotten you. Keep on praying, keep on doing the things he told you to do last, and above all, wait for him like Noah did. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. And so now the second lesson from Genesis chapter 8 is that God, while waiting on God, do your own human part. Now, when Noah was on the boat, he wasn't sure whether the flood had ended, and if I'm sure the rains must have stopped, but he wanted to see if dry land has appeared. So how did Noah do his own human part? He sent out birds. The Bible records that he sent out a raven first of all, which came back with no sign that the land had come up again. He now sent off a dove, which came back with an olive tree, showing Noah a sign that the water was ebbing. And finally, he sent out a third bird. And when this third bird didn't come back, Noah must have known that he had found somewhere to perch. Now, how does this affect us in terms of our relationship and our work with God? When working with God, sometimes you might not hear everything like explicitly, I am the Lord, I've come to do this. No. Sometimes God expects that you use your own human initiative. You are made in the image and likeness of God, meaning that you think like God. You have capacity to know the right thing to do. Now, the right thing to do was what Noah did. I'm sure that doing that encouraged him to wait and to know that God, who told him that he would destroy the earth, and then the flood will ebb away, such that Noah and his family will begin the new family, will be the number one family in the earth. He was keeping his promise. So sometimes, while you are on track with God, while you're in your ark, you're in your own obedience, you can do your own human part to find out if things had changed outside or if it was time to leave the boat. I pray that this lesson has blessed you in Jesus' mighty name. The next lesson from Genesis chapter 8 is that God showed up at the appointed time. Now, even after, what is most beautiful, if I not let me know even what is very beautiful is that even after Noah had gotten his confirmation, he still did not leave the boat. He waited for God's instruction. How many of us can do this? We say, oh, we are confirming. We have to confirm whether the Lord is sending us. And yet the Lord has not spoken expressly to you to do something different. So it's just calling us to wait on God, like Noah, to keep waiting. Even when you have confirmation, wait for the confirmation of the Lord your God. According to Genesis chapter 8, God showed up at the appointed time. He finally spoke to Noah and told him to leave the boat with him and his family. So it's just drawing us to a place of patience. Genesis chapter 8 is teaching us patience, it's teaching us wisdom, it's teaching us that God doesn't forget us. In fact, the life of Noah on that ark has so many lessons that should bless you and draw you to a place of relationship with God, such that you obey his instructions at ease. What Noah did of not stepping out even after getting his confirmation is something to be proud of by God. He waited on God and God came and gave him the instructions. So I pray that if anybody on a journey with God and you're trying to make decisions and you're not sure where to go, wait on God. Keep asking him. He will definitely come like he did for Noah, because he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Finally, the next lesson from Genesis chapter 8 is that we should give sacrifice that pleases the Lord. When Noah got the information that he could leave the boat, the first thing he did as he came on land was to offer sacrifices of thanksgiving to the Lord in the form of killing animals. And the Bible records that this sacrifice pleased the Lord, such that God came down and made a vow that he will never destroy the earth again with flood. So for us today in our daily life, where we don't really give God sacrifices of bulls and cattle, the best way to be thankful to God is to choose out a sacrificial way you can worship him as a spirit. God is a spirit. God appreciates praises. God appreciates worship. God appreciates thanksgiving. God appreciates dancing for him. If you don't even have capacity to go and do it big like Noah did, do things small. Every day there are many things to be thankful. Yes, Noah's own case looked like it was a big deal, but there's so many things to be thankful today in your life, such as waking up without dying. That's such a big deal. So God is calling us to a place of thanksgiving. The more you thank him, the more he's pleased by your thanksgiving, and be sure that there are always blessings attached to thanking the Lord. I pray you are blessed by this episode. There's so much power-packed message in this episode. Patience, waiting on God's instruction, using your own human intellect, and knowing that you are not forgotten. I pray that you catch on to one of these words. Read Genesis chapter 8 yourself and see it there written there, and know that the same God that was with Noah, that helped Noah then, is definitely helping you. He will not leave you. He will not forsake you, in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. I pray you are blessed by this review of Genesis chapter 8. Do have a great day. Bye.